Alright, so welcome back, guys. Zhangbi taking Galaxy out 2-0. Not looking, you know, like the best Pross in the world or anything like that. A lot of mistakes from his opponent. But, you know, something to think about is that this guy is really focusing quite heavily on StarCraft 1 right now. He's the finals of the last OSL that there ever will be for Brood War. So this is something to really think about. So if he wins here, it's going to be important for him because, you know, after the finals are over, he's got to make this switch. So we'll see exactly how he does here. His next opponent's going to be another Zerg, and it's going to be someone I think who's going to be a lot more prepared to take him out here.
My personal take on this... Yeah, okay. So my personal take on this is actually, if I was Zhangbi right now and I was playing in the last OSL finals, I would rather try to go out with a bang and really make this work and make sure that all my time is spent training for this than focusing on the WCS qualifier, where I probably don't have, well, I don't want to say don't have a chance anyways, but probably have a really tough time.
Yeah.
If he qualifies, of course, for the qualifier, then he has time to prepare for the matches, but I would not spend too much time with this right now if I have the chance to be the last OSL champion in Brood War.
Yeah, I highly doubt he's played he's probably played maybe a warm-up games this morning and maybe like a game or two every day or so. But obviously, Brood War is going to be his focus here for the last Brood War big tournament.
And by the way, not saying that he did that, but that would be my personal take on things if I would be in his position.
I think he probably did as well. I mean, not only for his own personal reasons, but I'm sure that the Samsung Khan coach, and actually I know him, I know the coach.
Whoa. Dia just took out Bomber.
Well, that's interesting. I would love to hear more about that later, but if I'm the coach of Zhangbi, I'm going to be telling him to focus on this as well, because for the sake of the team and everything else, I think he's probably thinking rationally as you are, that hey, yeah, the WCS qualifier is great, if you can qualify that'd be awesome, but the OSL finals are what's really important right now. And that's interesting about Bomber losing there. Do you know what the score was?
2-1.
2-1?
Yeah, 2-1 was the score, and that's what I was told. It's not confirmed by the grid yet, but that's the information that was just spread on all the live threads, Reddit, and of course also Team Liquid. Well, currently we have Lovesick against Zhangbi, and as you mentioned, Lovesick definitely a little bit of a better Zerg player in comparison to Galaxy, at least if you have a look at his achievements. He's playing for Fnatic right now after OGS disbanded. The team picked him up. And the Nex is already building for Zhangbi, whereas Lovesick just started with his hedge. The pylon block at the natural prevented an early second base for him.
Yeah, that's pretty standard block there from Zhangbi. Looks like he knows how to do that. He's going to lose that pylon, but everything back up at home is ready for him. Cannon finishing, not going to be able to sneak in with these links. He's going to check the forge later, see if it's researching +1. We'll see the gases very, very soon here for Zhangbi, as he will need those. 1, 2, there they are in the main. He's got his probe still out on the map. He may try to hide it, but it looks like actually right now he's just gonna, well, I'm looking on the mini-map, he's like kind of jumping around with it. Looks like he's not sure if he was gonna go to check the third base and check the natural location once more. He's going around the watchtower, and this is gonna allow the Zergling to see him. So if Lovesick wants to, he can kill this probe. And that's important because, you know, if you face this pressure with the forward pylon, you want to know where that probe is so you know where the pylons are probably going to be. And see, he's already on top of it. All he has to do is send one ling, and the probe will not be able to do anything that he doesn't know about. Up!
Boom. Boom and bye-bye.
Yeah, boom and bye-bye.
3 bases again for the Zerg player. This is exactly the same situation, or a similar situation to what Zhangbi faced on the map the last time that he played it, just a few seconds ago. He's not going for the aggression that he tried to pull off against Galaxy. I'm curious to see if he's going for the same follow-up though, if he's going for this early third base, because I feel that Lovesick is a player who will definitely try to exploit the situation and attack him right away. This was something that Galaxy definitely lacked. In Game 2 he couldn't do it because early on Zhangbi did too much damage. In Game 1 he didn't do it for whatever reason. And this is definitely going to shape out to be a little bit different here. This is a tougher opponent for Zhangbi right now. And I want to know how he's going to approach this. He has to be aware of that as well.
Yeah, you're so right. The player Galaxy, first of all, doesn't have as many notable results as Lovesick, who used to be known as Jay, and he was on OGS, just in case some people might not know that. He's been around for a long time. He's been playing in foreign tournaments as well as in the GSL for quite some time, and he's going to be able to play for Team League for Fnatic next season too. But this guy has a lot more experience in tournament matches than Galaxy, especially important ones. And Galaxy made a lot of mistakes, so this is going to be a much tougher game for Jongbi overall.
Lovesick is no Code S player, but he's been around. He has been in Code A several times too, so this is definitely someone who has the experience to pull this off, and therefore going to be interesting to see how Jongbi is going to approach this game now in particular. The Overlord's of course in position for Lovesick, and he has the additional queens on the way, spreading his creep already, just droning up now. Whereas Jongbi is once again researching +1, going for this gateway centered style.
Yeah, and there's the Roach Warren coming down at 750. We'll see how much damage this does. Every single Protoss that I've seen from a Kespa team right now has been putting on some sort of gateway pressure in this matchup. And this is going to be the pressure of choice for Jongbi. His Warp Gate research not done just yet. And his pylon has been spotted. In fact, has he taken... No, he's not actually taken the pylon out, despite seeing it. Now the first additional warpins of Zealots are coming through here. Robotics on the way. I think he's just going to defend this pylon and try to force Lings, then go home. If he actually commits to this and loses his units, I'll be very disappointed. We'll see what he does. We saw him with a lot of successful pressure last game, much earlier on than this. Got to be very careful with this spine and this many Zerglings on creep. I don't think he should actually try to win this fight.
Not really. If he's actually trapped in range of the Spine Core, this would be bad, and this is exactly what Lovesick trying to do. Therefore, the dancing in the back and forth. He tries to pin those Stalkers down in range of the Spine Crawler, and you can already see that this is a much better defense for Lovesick now than it was for Galaxy before.
Yeah, and also consider that Jongbi's not really overextending himself here. Well, this may be if he loses too many units to the Spine. If he gets this Queen, though, things are okay for him actually right now. And he's actually trying to make this work. He's forced a lot of units, as I mentioned, as one of his goals. He kills all the Lings, and now if he just runs away...
He's building a pylon in the main base. Okay, it was spotted, thank God. I actually thought for a second that he missed it.
Yeah, if he had warped 10 sentries there, things could have gotten out of hand. But he's actually just going to trade for some of these Roaches. And Lovesick, disappointingly so, not really microwing his Roaches against these Zealots. He lost way too many of those. He should not have really lost more than one, if even one at all. Fighting on creep against Zealots with Roaches?
You're right, but now we suddenly have... definitely right, and I would like to talk about this a little bit more just in a second, but now we have the third base again, and this is going to be spotted, and I want to know what Lovesick is going to do. As I mentioned earlier, most Zerg players would react by putting a lot of pressure onto the Protoss, and this I think is what we are going to see now, a lot of sentries once again, and you're definitely right with what you mentioned before. With creep and the speed advantage that he had, he should have been able to kite those Zealots a lot better and not lost this many Roaches, but now look at the minimap. There's Zerg units streaming towards the third base from every angle possible.
And check out those Kespa sentries, man. He's got 8. Here we go. He's actually ready. I mean, to delay, but once the force fields are gone, or if any Roaches get in at all, this is going to be so tough. Second cannon's not done, and he's already in a great position, even with force fields. What are you going to do with those sentries? He needs more Immortals. He needs more Stalkers.
2 sentries gone. He's losing the cannons now. Another sentry about to die. 3, 4... 4 sentries are already dead, and he's losing energy for force fields, and he just builds units. He's going for a drop play now, but he rallies units across the map. He's taking a 4th base, and even with the Immortal, this is going to be very, very tough to hold. He's losing a lot of energy on the sentries. He will soon be out of force fields.
Yeah, he is running low, and the Nexus dies. Probes are going down here as well. He's taking out a ton of them, and the Roach attack is not over yet. He's actually taking out more sentries here.
The sentries die slowly but steadily. All of them are gone, and now Lovesick retreats. He did a lot of damage, and this is exactly what we talked about earlier. This aggression against the third and making sure that your opponent is not able to get it. And now we suddenly have Lovesick on 4 bases against Jongbi on, well, 2.5.
Is that +1 or that's got to be +2, right? Of that forge, but it looks like +1. I think it's +2.
Yeah, it's +2.
Okay, I was like, am I crazy? I swore you researched it later. All right, Legend, thank you, thank you, Legend. I appreciate that. No upgrades for the Zerg.
Yeah, the screens that we have, we can actually not check everything because we don't have an observer. We are not observing, we don't have an observing on computer in the game, so we have to rely on the screen, and sometimes those colors on the screen are a little bit weird, so Legend just helping it out.
It looked like +1, you know, so I was like, well, there's no way, but...
Yeah, sometimes it looks a little bit weird with the coloring, you're right.
This second attack is going to be shut down. I think it's just set up as a backstab. If he sees him on the watchtower moving out, then he goes into with these roaches. Otherwise, he's not going to want to commit to this. The sentry count, even though it was reduced, is still decent here. With this amount of mortals, he's going to be in an okay spot. Not spotted yet, though, by the watchtower, so these units are not moving. He's going to go home. Oh, probe, or rather observer survives. And they're...
Jungbi is moving out now, and if that's been spotted, the first thing that's going to happen is that Lovesick is going to use this force to the top left to attack.
It's almost as if Jungbi knows about that force and he's trying to find and kill it. I think that's definitely what's going on here. He's going in from two sides. He's got to be careful, though. Okay, there go the force fields, and with these Immortals, he's actually going to kill all these roaches.
Yeah, this is turning out to be very nice for Jungbi, and was looking for these units and is able to take them out. Doesn't give Lovesick the opportunity to go in and snipe the third again.
You know what's so impressive to me is that Jungbi never saw those units, but he saw with his observer, he's like, wait a minute, you have a ton of spines going up right now, I don't see any army units. Where was that roach force? So he was just like, it's got to be here, and he just went for it, and that's something that game sense that's really awesome to see. He doesn't know that they're there. He has not physically seen them, but he's like, they've got to be there. It's the only thing that makes sense, and he just goes in and kills them. That was actually so cool to watch.
Mutalisk against Blink Stalkers here, and this is... here comes the attack. Jungbi wants to hit this timing on the... Well, not the timing, but he wants to attack on 3 bases again. And the Mutalisks are walking past, catching a few Stalkers off guard here. They're blinking away, even chased down by the Zerglings now. And Jungbi turns back and tries to fight again. Blinks in, is able to kill one of the Mutalisks, but there are going to be a lot of them. And I guess this time he will end up in a base race scenario if he tries to commit to this attack.
Yeah, that is always the correct answer when you have Mutas out against this type of attack. And that's exactly what we're going to see from Lovesick. Already sending his Mutas towards that base. Cannon's going up for Jungbi. He knows he's going to face this. That one cannon's going to go down pretty quick. Even with a few Stalkers here, it's not enough.
And he's moving back. He's moving back and trying to defend here. He's going to lose a lot. If he tries to chase down these Mutalisks, he's going to lose the game. They're heading into the main base now. They did damage on the low ground. We have 26 already. Lovesick just continues to produce them. And now he has Jungbi on the run. Jungbi is running from left to right. Maybe now he's just attacking, moving out, and I think he's fed up with this, but he will end up in a base race scenario against Lovesick.
Yep, he has reached the point of no return. He's going all in here. You just forced him to go, and he's going to go very quickly, as fast as he can. A few Stalkers here to try to help him buy time. The Spine Crawlers are doing the same thing, though, and I think actually Lovesick is going to be okay here.
Lovesick should be okay. With everything that he has, he's going to dish out this damage a lot faster. He's going to take down these bases, and he should send drones across to the bottom right and top left if possible. And now the third is under pressure. The Zergling streaming in. The fourth is gone for Lovesick.
Look at the Stalker count for Jungbi in the middle of the map. It's too low.
Yeah.
So if he just turns his mutas around to defend his bases, he can actually just kill those. Yeah, the Immortals kill bases fast, but with this many mutas, the Immortals not going to be useful against that. And the Zerglings, there's so many of them out on the map.
He should not try to defend. Just take down these bases, use the Zerglings, use the Mutalisks, kill everything, kill the production, make sure that the Protoss player cannot build any additional units. At the same time, you try to buy time with Spine Crawlers, you build as many Mutalisks as you can, send a few drones out, and then your Mutalisk count will be much higher than the Stalker count of your opponent. And just look at this Spine Crawler front.
And look at the mini map.
Yeah.
Your forces are under attack. Your base is under attack.
It's like this Protoss voice is like, hey, I told you like 20 times already, do something, we're dying up here.
There's nothing he can be, there's nothing he can do. He's not going to be able to break through these spines, and even if somehow he manages to, he's lost so many Immortals. And the Mutas can just come back at any time, like I said, and kill these units.
He loses way too much. This is a classic base race scenario. This is exactly what Galaxy should have done in the first place. And, well, Lovesick, he sees the chance, and he's like, well, this is over.
GG.
He's like, you can attack me anytime you want, buddy. That's fine.
Yeah, he left the Lings to kill the Protoss building, sent the Mutas back. That is the way that you get checkmate with Mutas. We saw it well executed this game, much better than Galaxy. And it's actually kind of cool to see, same map, same builds, and the difference between the Zerg skill is actually just really well shown here. We basically saw like a mirror game, but seeing like the difference between Galaxy and Lovesick was quite evident there.
Yeah, the thing is basically with the Mutalisk, the mistake that Galaxy made is you don't want to fight and defend, because when you defend and you don't kill your opponent's economy before that, he's just going to warp in stalk after stalk after stalker, and at some point there will just be any stalkers on the map. But on the other hand, once again, we have to point out that Jangbi is actually playing the OSL finals, so he will not have prepared for these matches as much as other Casper players. And we've seen great matches yesterday, so the Casper players are getting ready for this, and especially some of them have performed so well that I think in a few months they will definitely be able to participate, just compete on a Code S level.
Yeah, I think that in this next Code A qualifier we may see some of them leak in.
Yeah, that's going to be really interesting. I'm so looking forward to it. Yesterday already a few of the Code A players have been taken out by Casper players, so those guys are doing a great job. They've been playing StarCraft 2, of course, for much longer than most people expect, but not full time.
And when you have a player like Jangbi, he's one of the best Brood War players in general. He's not a B-teamer. This guy is so important. So obviously he made it to the finals of OSL, but when the duel match is going on in Pro League, he's practicing for Brood War there as well. He's a key player there. He's not even playing as much StarCraft